So the last 12 months have been the toughest, I think, that we've ever known. With the pandemic kind of raging around us, we've seen a workforce that's had to go out and really battle with the circumstances and the challenges that that has caused, while also trying to maintain safe delivery of services, quality services, and doing so with a smile and providing comfort and reassurance to the people that they work with. And that's been a real challenge. And so for me, there can't be quality without a quality workforce. The two have to work alongside each other. And at TSA, we've been doing a lot of work over the last year to ensure that the people that are out there delivering these services and those who are having to adapt and change services have the information that they need to be able to make those decisions effectively. Our workforce continues to face new challenges, and so whether it's in the shape of an ageing population, people's needs changing over time, including the addition of people with dementia, and the addition of kind of a younger population as well that have different needs, the adoption of new technologies, but also the kind of lack of workforce, the fact that we have depleting numbers of available workforce. These all contribute to that picture of workforce challenges. And when we're thinking about quality, how can we ensure that we have the right people in the right roles, that they have the right information, and that they feel confident and competent enough to be able to go out and do the work in the way that we would want them to? COVID-19 has brought a huge amount of pressure to our workforce, and we are in the real situation now where they are tired. We have people who have well-being needs, they're exhausted, and it seems to have been one battle and one wave after another. And that in itself will have a real impact on your ability to deliver a quality service. You know, if you think about, trying to do anything when you're depleted in energy, it can be a real trial. So one of the things we all need to think about is how we can provide the support and the kind of wraparound care for those people, ensure they have the resilience to face the battles ahead, and to be able to come out and help with the recovery that we all need to be putting into place over the coming weeks and months. One of the things we learned over the last year in particular was the importance of proactivity. Being able to identify care needs, being able to deploy our workforce where they were needed, being able to lift and shift our workforce, so pulling in traffic wardens to provide caring roles and to man call centre phones, changing the roles of people to draw on existing skills in new ways. It's been a really interesting time where we've seen everyone kind of pitch in and pull together. But proactivity has been at the key and the heart of this. By being able to go out and reach out to those people who need it most, we're able to speed up the kind of workflow and the processes, to focus our efforts where they're most needed, and ultimately to be able to develop a more streamlined, more effective service for those of us who need it. We started off with a period of stabilization. So a year ago, we were looking at how do we stabilise our services? How do we make sure that there is a good quality, safe service that is able to weather through this storm? As we come out the other side, we're thinking about what are the structures and enablers that we need to have as a service and as a sector to be able to grow and develop and meet the needs of the population going forward. So the care model, which you'll have seen in any of the other TSA sessions so far, covers the different structures and enablers that we see organisations need, and what we've heard from all of the people that we've spoken to as the foundations that allow for growth, development, and for services to be able to balance the people needs, the digital needs, and ultimately to achieve those outcomes for the individual at the centre of this graphic. And you'll be able to access a version of this after the session. But you can see from the wraparound here some of the enablers where we look at things like regulation, about interoperability, about vision and leadership. And while one of these is about people and about the workforce and the leadership and the vision, actually all of these things come under our workforce and the skills that people need to have. For anyone to be able to make a strong decision as a strategic level, they need to have use cases and examples that they can draw on from a really strong evidence base. How are we supposed to reach a point where frontline staff hold all of this information in their heads, or where decision makers have all of this knowledge without being able to reach for it? It's not sustainable. And so one of the things we've been asking is, how can we give the sector and the people the skills and the information that they need at the point at which they need it to be able to deliver quality and to make quality decisions? One of the things that we've done this year is to launch the Tsa Academy. And the Academy is a pulling together of work that we've done over the last 3, 4, 5 years with different clients across local authority, health, care, housing. And it's a consolidation of that work into one place. And so we can work with organisations now in a blended way that draws on face-to-face learning, virtual learning, short bite-sized sessions, that allows us to use resources and documentation, project work, to bring in peer learning as an element of it, but also for us to leverage some of our e-learning platform and to use the support of existing champions within a business. And we're also able to work to create some of the culture and transformation pieces and to support the development of digital academies. And it's something that's really important for us, but also from having spoken to organisations, important to them, that we don't just draw a line at the frontline staff, that we understand that there is a layered approach to delivering quality. And that begins with the frontline staff, but doesn't end there. If anything, the support staff, who are the people who would pull the data, monitor the performance, and provide additional support, are really key in having the right skills. But similarly, as we go through some of the courses on here, you can see that managers and leaders and commissioners have a really strong part to play in embedding and creating the right culture for technology-enabled care to thrive. Whether it's leveraging digital at strategic level within your organisation, thinking about how you can use digital to develop a kind of place-based approach, and also as a manager, how you can think about performance. What does performance look like in a technology-enabled care environment? How do you monitor that? How do you give feedback on it? And how do you make sure that you offer coaching so that people are using the technology appropriately and that they can select between the different options? There's a variety of different ways that we're supporting people, and it's something that we're seeing more and more weaving into the quality standards and also into the conversations that we have with people as they identify the gaps in their workforce knowledge and needs. The training side and the workforce development side is a key element in bridging those gaps. No sector is better than its workforce. It's really important for us to state that however good an organisation's marketing and its structures, if its people don't have the skills, knowledge, behaviours to deliver a quality service, then the organisation will not be as successful as you would want it to be. That's why TSA is launching 46 training opportunities to be able to support that. And beyond that, there is a range of other options, but we'll be looking to work through each of those levels in an organisation. So from the frontline staff all the way up to the strategic leaders and commissioners, but also alongside that, understanding the role of tech innovators and providers and the role of consumers and informal carers. What we're looking to do is to kind of build a community of learning so that we can pull in people with different perspectives and knowledge and begin to share that so that we can lift up the entire sector. We're going to be providing that through training in a kind of formal sense, but also through the ambassador programs and champion programs, through tech buddy schemes, where people can be partnered with technology innovators to learn more about their world, some digital mentoring with digital experts, but also for us to be able to come in and do some research into their workforce, to do some analysis and some learning needs analysis around what their workforce might need, and making some recommendations for whole organisation and larger scale transformation and change processes. I talked earlier about that idea of holding information in your head and what you do with that and how you can access it. And a big vision for us is the development of a knowledge hub. We've begun some of this work already, and there's documentation and there's information available over the coming months in our platform. Our view is that we want to be a central point for curating content, both from our sector partners, from government organisations, and also from some of those organisations, so the tech innovators, so that we can pull those into one central place and push that out through our workforce, out to citizens in the community. What we do now really does define the skills of a future workforce. We are not able to make decisions now in isolation. Over the next 3-5 years, the landscape will change. Roles will change in terms of the workforce. They will no longer just be delivering the roles that they have been over the last 10-15 years. With the adoption of greater amounts of digital and technology, there will need to be roles that analyse that digital information, that pull data, and there will need to be upskilling and training of those new roles. Similarly, we'll see new people coming into the system and the training of people to develop the mindset from the start so that they're comfortable with adopting some of the technology. We'll also need to give people the ability to select between technologies. As the range broadens, it's no longer a case of how do I use this piece of kit? It's more a situation of I now have a range of tools and a range of technologies. For you as an individual that I'm caring for and providing care for, how do I select and how do I recommend the piece that's right for you? How do I, as a system, as a commissioner, make decisions about the range? And how do I, as a person on the front line, select from the pieces that are available to me? So there are a lot more roles and a lot more complexities over the coming years that we need to consider when we think about the skills and the behaviours of our workforce. And particularly when it links into the quality piece, it's a consideration of how do we make sure that all of these link into what we see as a quality service. So what we do now really does define the skill of our future workforce. That it will be too late if we wait 3, 4, 5 years to begin this work. It needs to begin now, and now feels like a great opportunity to do that. We need to enable our people to meet tomorrow's challenges. We owe it to those we serve now and in the future.